Hello and welcome everyone. So I just got a question today and I'm going to share this with everyone and do a video about it. She says, James, the testimonies and videos, basically mostly they seem to be about HHV4, HHV2. You mentioned EBV, which of course is HHV4. Please confirm that your oil of oregano, oil and olive leaf extract and raw food, mostly fruits, would apply to EBV too. Thanks. Okay, great question, Susan. Let's go ahead and roll the information. And if you've been watching my videos, you'll already understand this. If you haven't, please pay attention because this is very, very important. The Epstein-Barr virus can be very, very serious. It's also known as mononucleosis, and this is something that is very, very, very common. And even mild or non-life-threatening infection can occasionally be associated with the development of serious complications from the infection. And just as anything, any particular virus, which is a protein, is something that can get dumped in your lymphatic system. A virus particle is a protein. As you can see, they're formed from identical protein, and every virus has a lipid envelope, and it's derived from a host cell membrane, and all viruses are proteins. So, how do you get rid of a protein? Well, as I mentioned before, you have to detox it out, right? Because if you don't detox it out, it's going to be a big problem. So let's take a look at this. You have the lymph system, you got the immune system, you got the blood system, and really nothing's in your blood, because if it was in your blood, you would die. Your blood really basically flushes and keeps you alive as far as what your blood does. Your blood doesn't hold any disease. Just because the medical community tests in the blood and they're looking for chemistry tests that really can be shown from basically drawing blood doesn't mean that the issue is in the blood. It's in your lymphatic system. So that's the easiest way I can explain it. And your lymphatic system helps control your immune system. So this is really your only line of defense. Now, you might be wondering, okay, James, well, why can't you donate blood? Because, a lot of people, they donate blood if you have a particular issue, if it's not in the blood. Well, the problem with that is that when you're getting pathogens and things like that, the medical community has stated that it can be passed through the blood. Example, through needles and things like that. But that doesn't mean that the issue resides in the blood. Just because something can be spread through the blood, just like they can be spread through sex, through semen, doesn't mean that the issue resides in semen. Okay? So hope that makes sense. It's in your lymphatic system, but things can be spread through other forms of liquid in the human body. So keep that in mind. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is about iridology, and this is really, really interesting. I've talked about this before. This is history, folks. And when I first started this channel 6 years ago, actually 7 years ago, when you look at the websites and things like that, I really was into Chinese medicine. But then when I started really looking more into iridology, years later, I saw this with my own eyes, and this was fascinating. Of course, the medical community tried to disprove this, but the way they disproved it was not correct. See, when you get a problem, and here's the owl, where in the early 1800s, an 11-year-old Hungarian boy, he basically caught an owl and accidentally broke his leg, right? Here's the owl, and as you can see, here's the eyes. It's not showing that in the picture, but the boy looked into the bird's eye and noticed a black stripe in the iris. Years later, he came up with the idea that illness basically could be diagnosed by looking at the markings on the iris. And this idea, iridology, is based on the unfounded belief that each area of the body represented by corresponding area of the eye, of the iris of the eye. So they're saying it's unfounded. And why are they saying it's unfounded? Right? Because they just mentioned that blood tests, which go off certain types of chemistry in the body. And again, I've been to the medical community many times. I've gotten blood tests. And I've compared them to now iridology and actual Chinese medicine, which shows on your face, eyes, nose, mouth. I wrote the book on this. I did this 4.5, almost 5 years ago. So the book started 5 years ago. And the whole point of that was to show the diagnosis of organs and things like that. Now, if you go to your doctor in Western medicine, are they going to tell you, hey, this is your lymphatic system, this is the problems, and this is what you have? No, because that's not their business. Their business is to treat symptoms, prescribe drugs, do surgery, and that's it. And that's the way it is. But if you really look deeper into it, especially this is your gut, and it can show you if you have parasites, and each marking will go away. Why? Because when you're cleansing and you're doing it properly, and you're cleansing your lymphatic system, that's where you're going to get rid of these issues. And look at this nerve ring here. I mean, look, this is lymphatic congestion. This eye should be a blue eye. And look at all these different colors. They all mean something. So, back in the 1800s, this was already found. But it's so simple, and there's different charts, and there's different information where people can learn about this, but you learn by doing things, folks. It's not just about me educating you and showing this. You gotta learn by doing it. And the people that are learning this by doing this have succeeded. And, I mean, there's a number of people on YouTube that have not changed their eye color, but really flushed this out and got rid of the lymphatic congestion and had their iris one color. And then you're going to get people say, oh, it's the lighting, it's this, because they've never done it. If you haven't done it, you don't know. It's like someone that runs a marathon. Until they complete the 26-plus mile race, they don't know what it's like because they've never done it. Anybody can say they can do it, but not many people have crossed the finish line. So there's a big, big difference. And that's where I come in. I want people to cross the finish line, and I want you to heal. And you got to learn, and you got to have the education. And if someone's putting this information up for free, it takes a lot of work and a lot of time and years. That's why I post so many videos to educate you folks, because I know the information. And here's the chart that really kind of goes in, and you can click on this yourself, and it'll show you all the information for the left and right eye, and you can pinpoint this. And you can learn about this, folks. This is a tool just to show you how well you're healing. So it's not just any type of negative test, because this means more than a negative test. Why? This is the body's natural signs. And you will not heal until you cleanse. And your eyes are actually showing one color, and you're really getting deep and getting rid of that lymphatic congestion. So I hope this video really enlightens for people and shows people. And before I end this video, I want people to see that here's my channel. You can type it in. You can type in the search bar, and it's going to bring my channel up. And then you can go and you can click on my videos, and you can see all the videos I've done going back 5 years. And I've done so many videos. I've done videos on foods. I've done videos on the raw food diet. I've even done one on iridology. Here's one right here. I've done videos on how to properly use the oregano oil. I talked about, avoiding meat, raw food diets, and this is going back a long time. And then there's videos of me just talking, the videos of me blending. So it's been an ongoing way for me to really improve my own health and let people know the truth. Because the truth is what people need to know, because there's so much misinformation out there. And I can tell you that people that don't know the truth or charging for the truth, there's a reason why they are. And when I've put up every single piece of information for free that I have learned over 400 videos in the past 5 years of this channel. And I've even done things about Chinese medicine when I got off of a raw food diet, and I went on that following steamed vegetables, and I show everything. And that didn't work, folks, because I never really went deep enough, and I went back eventually to the raw food diet. Are the teas bad for you? No. I drink Chinese teas, and every once in a while I'll still drink tea. But I'm a big advocate of the fasting, the raw living foods with the fruits, and I've experimented with this for years. So it's experimentation, learning, and then now passing that education on to you so you can understand and move forward. Any questions, go ahead, let me know. I'll do a future video, but folks, keep moving forward and you will heal, and this is not that hard. But if you don't have the right knowledge, nothing will happen, because I'm living proof of that. If you don't do the right things, nothing's going to happen. Years later, you're going to still be in the same position no matter what it is. Thank you so much, folks. Bye-bye.